Hi dear students, welcome back to our YouTube classes. In this session, I am dealing with future tense. In future tense, there are four aspects are there. The first one is simple future tense, and the second one is future continuous tense, and the third one is future perfect tense, and the fourth one is future perfect continuous tense. Dear students, let's begin the session. Okay, simple future tense. We are going to create the simple future tense by using two type of sentences. One is going to, and the second one is by using the helping verb called will. Let's look into the two structure of the simple future tense. Going to structure. The first one is going to structure. Look here. Here subject, helping verb. In helping verb, be form helping verb like is, am, or, plus going to, plus verb in a first form, then object. Look at here. This is the one structure of the simple future tense. Going to structure. Subject, helping verb, is, am, or, plus going to is compulsory. You should not leave that word. You should have to place the word together. Going to must place in the sentence. Then verb in a present form and object. I will give one example here. We are going to buy a car next week. Look at the example, dear students. We are going to buy a car next week. This is the one example for going to simple future tense. Understood? Look, here we need subject. Here we stand for subject. Look, we is considered as a plural. That is why I have taken the or as a helping verb here. Here or stand for helping verb. And going to, it stand for future tense. Going to, and by stand for verb in a first form, present form. Then the rest of the sentence stand for object. So here, if the subject is singular, take is as a helping verb, and if the subject is plural, take or as a helping verb, and if the subject is first person singular, take I as a am as a helping verb. So this is the structure of going to simple future tense. Okay, this is the one format, structure of the simple future tense. So what is the use of the going to? Okay, we are using the going to kinds of sentences to express our plan. Look at the example. We are going to buy a car next week. Look, we are expressing our plans, our intentions. So we are using this kind of a structure to express our plan and intention. This is the usage of the going to sentence structure and the going to format of the simple future tense. Let's look into the will. Will. It is also indicating simple future tense. Will is indicating simple future tense. Okay. The structure of this kind of a sentences is here. Subject, helping verb, verb in a first form or the present form, then object. Look, this is the structure of the will structure of the sentences. So yeah, subject. Either it may be a he, she, it, whatever it may be. Take will as a helping verb. But only you have to take if the subject is first person singular called I and the plural we. If the subject is I and we, use shall as a helping verb. With the rest of the subject, you can take will as a helping verb. Okay, if the subject is first person singular called I and we, plural, we, you need to take shall as a helping verb. Okay, otherwise you take will as a helping verb to write the simple future tense. Let's look into the example. One example I would like to give here. I will get it. I will get it. Look here. I stand for subject, will stand for helping verb, get stands for verb in a first form, get it object. Why I gave this sentence? I will tell you. So what are the usage of the will? We are using will to express our instant decisions, and we are using will to express offers, help. We are going to help to someone else. So when we are offering some help to somebody else, we are using will. And most importantly, we are also using the will structure to express instant decisions. Okay, instant decisions and promises. Look at here. Just imagine the phone is ringing right now. Okay, the phone is ringing right now, and immediately if I am there, I would like to tell to someone else, I will get it. I will take that phone. So that is why I took this example. Look, I will get it. This is the one structure, and it is also called as a affirmative sentence. Okay, affirmative sentence. So if you change the affirmative sentence to the negative sentence, it is very easy. By adding not to the will, we are going to change it. So I will not get it. Okay, will not. The short form of will not is won't. When you are dealing with the question tags, so there you won't write will not like this. Won't is the right form of the will not, or the abbreviation of the will not. So here I stand for subject, will stand for helping verb plus negative sentence, and get stands for verb in a first form remaining object. Okay, remaining object. If we do the interrogative sentence, yes or no type of sentence, will come first here. Will I get it? Question mark. Here will stand for helping verb, I stand for subject, get stand for verb in a first form. The remaining rest of the sentence is called as an object. Here only it is there, no problem. And at the end of the sentence, we put question mark here because it is a yes or no type of sentence. So this is the structure of the simple future tense. And most of the students, dear students, you are getting confusion how to make predictions. Okay, how to make predictions, whether by using the will or whether by using the going to. Look, I will clearly tell you in this video how to make predictions. Will, I will give one example, will and going to. Here, by using will, look at here, by using will, how to make predictions. So will representing our experience. Dear students, will is representing, when we are making the prediction, our experience. Based on our knowledge or our experience, we are going to make the sentences. For example, I will tell you, as a RCB fan, I would like to tell like this. I think RCB will win this year IPL Cup. Okay, I think, look here, I think RCB will win the IPL Cup this year. Look at here. I think RCB will win the IPL Cup this year. Why I told this sentence? Because as a player, as a cricket player, I know on my knowledge and on my experience, I could guess, I could predict the future, what will happen. Whether they win or not, that is the secondary things. Whatever it may be, is a cup namde. We are always a RCB fan. That's the secondary. But I am making the predictions by using my experience, my knowledge. So when you are going to making a predictions based on your experience, use will as a helping verb in this structure. And when to use going to for making a predictions, look at here. Going going to. How to make a going to predictions? By using the going to type of sentence, how to make a predictions? Look at the scale. Okay, look at the scale. It is going to rain now. Look at here, going to structure of the predictions. Look at the scale. Okay, look at the scale. It is going to rain now. Okay, based on the present movement or present situation, we are going to predictioning the situation, or we are going to talk about the future. Look at the scale. Maybe the scale, the dark clouds are gathered in the sky. Okay, and by looking into the dark clouds, we are predicting the future. I think, look at the sky. It is going to rain now. It is going to rain now by based on the present situation. So these are the two major difference in between will and going to. How to make a predictions. Okay, I think it is clear. This is called a simple future tense, and there are so many sentences are there, like instant decisions. We are using will for instant decisions. Just imagine if you are in the hotel, okay, and the waiter asked you, "Can I take an order, please?" And immediately you are going to tell you, "So I will have a burger right now," like that. You are going to make an instant decisions. Like if the phone is ringing, you are immediately informing to the someone else, "I will take it." Okay, that is the instant decision. And I'll give you one more example for offering help. Just imagine if the old lady is carrying a lot of luggage on her shoulder, and she told us it is very heavy luggage. Then what we are going to reply to her? "Okay, I will take them. I will take it," like that. Here we are offering help by using the will here. Okay, just imagine like that. I will take that. Just imagine if the old lady is bringing a heavy luggage on her shoulder, and when she told like that, "These luggage are very heavy, carrying like that," we are immediately offering her help by using this format. "I will take that," or "I will take that luggage," whatever it may be. So this is the example for offering help. And promises, we are using will to make promises. Okay, to make promises. How to make a promises? Remember, dear students, when you left us, you made promise. And then how did you tell us? You told like this: "Sir, don't worry, we will take a good marks in the examination." Look, you used the will and will form of structure to make promise to us. So these are the usage of the will and going to. Let's get into the next tense. Simple future is over right now. Future continuous tense. In future continuous tense, there are one helping verb is there, that is will be or shall be. If the subject is first person singular and plural, take shall be as a helping verb. Otherwise, take will be as a helping verb. If the subject is first person singular I and plural, okay, if it is there, take shall be as a helping verb. Otherwise, will be as a helping verb here. So, what is the structure of the future continuous tense? The structure should be like this: subject, helping verb, either will be or shall be, and verb should be in a present participle form or verb in a ing form. Then the rest of the sentence is called as object. This is the structure of the future continuous tense. Subject, helping verb, either it may be will be or shall be, and verb should be in a present participle form or ing form, and the remaining is object. Look into the example. we shall be watching movie tomorrow at 10 a.m. Look at here. We shall be watching movie tomorrow at 10 a.m. Future continuous tense. Look at the structure. Here we stand for subject, shall be stand for helping verb, watching stand for verb in ing form, and the rest of the sentence stand for object. And this is called affirmative sentences. Then I will change the sentence to the negative sentence here. Look at the structure of the negative sentence. We shall not be watching movie tomorrow at 10 a.m. By adding not to the shall, we are converting the affirmative sentence to the negative sentence. Here we stand for subject, shall stand for helping verb plus not plus be, and watching stand for present participle or verb plus ing, and the rest of the sentence called as object. And I am converting this same sentence to the interrogative, questioning, yes or no type of sentence. So, what is the structure? We have to take the helping verb in the first place. Shall we be watching movie tomorrow at 10 a.m. question mark. Look, shall we be watching movie tomorrow at 10 a.m. question mark. This is also called as interrogative yes or no type of sentence. Here shall representing helping verb plus be subject, be for future continuous tense, verb plus ing, the rest of the sentence object, and at the end of the sentence we put question mark because it is a yes or no type of sentence. So this is the simple structure of the future continuous tense. So what you need to do in home, my dear students, take another example by using the he, she, it subject and write your own examples in the text in the notebook and show to me after the holidays finished or the COVID-19 lockdown finished. Let's move to the next tense. Future perfect tense. Future perfect tense. So here there are two helping verbs are there. Will have and shall have. Okay. Shall have to take if the subject is first person singular and the will. Look into the structure of the future perfect tense. Subject, okay, helping verb, either it may be will have or shall have. Okay, will have or shall have. Plus verb should be in a third form, past participle form, then object. Okay, this is the structure of the future perfect tense. Subject, helping verb, either it may be will have or shall have. Shall have to take if the subject is first person singular and we, I or we. This is for I or we, and the rest of the subject will dealing with the will have. Plus past participle form of the verb and object. Look into the one example. How to change the affirmative sentence and negative sentence and interrogative sentence of the future perfect tense. I shall have visited zoo tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I shall have visited zoo tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So this is the future perfect tense example. This action might have take place in the future. Okay, in the future, and it will going to execute in a perfect way. So this is called future perfect tense. Here I stand for subject. I took shall have as a helping verb because subject comes as a first person singular I, and this is called helping verb. Visitor stands for V3, and the rest of the sentence stands for object. This is called affirmative sentence, and I would like to change this affirmative sentence to the negative sentence. Look, by adding not to the shall, we are going to change it here. I shall not have visited zoo tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. This is the negative sentence. Here I stand for subject, shall stand for helping verb, plus not, plus have, V3. Rest of the sentence is called as object. So convert this negative to the interrogative, yes or no type of sentence. Shall I have visited zoo tomorrow at 9 a.m. question mark. Look, shall I have visited zoo tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? Either maybe yes or maybe no. So this is the future perfect interrogative sentence. Here shall stand for helping verb plus subject, have form indicating future perfect tense here, visited, V3, the rest of the sentence called as object, and at the end of the sentence we put question mark because it is a yes or no type of sentence. So this is the one example for future perfect tense. Let's look into the last tense of this tense series, that is called future perfect continuous tense. So future perfect continuous tense, indicating the future actions which are going to be executing by perfectly. Okay, I'll go structure of the sentence: subject, helping verb, either it is will or shall have been. Either will or shall have been. Okay. Plus verb should be in a ing form, then object. This is the structure of the future perfect continuous tense, my dear students. Subject, helping verb, will or shall have been. Okay, will or maybe shall. So the using of the will and shall I already told you so many times, I won't repeat here. Have been plus verb plus ing and object. I will write one example here. We shall have been playing cricket for 10 hours tomorrow. Look at, we shall have been playing cricket for 10 hours tomorrow. So this is the one example for future perfect continuous tense. Here we stand for subject, shall have been stand for here helping verb, playing stand for verb plus ing, and the rest of the sentence stand for object. Okay, this is called affirmative sentence or positive sentence. Converting this sentence to the negative sentence here by adding not to the shall. Look, we shall not have been playing cricket for 10 hours tomorrow. Look here. We shall not have been playing cricket for 10 hours tomorrow. This is a negative sentence of the given sentence. Here we stand for subject, shall stand for helping verb, and not for negative sentence. Have been representing future perfect continuous tense here. Have been, and playing representing verb in ing form, and the rest of the sentence is called as object. And how to convert this positive sentence to the interrogative yes or no type of sentence? I'll rub it. Okay. Shall we have been playing cricket for 10 hours tomorrow? Question mark. So this is the perfect example for interrogative yes or no type of sentence. Here shall representing helping verb, he represented subject, have been representing future perfect continuous tense, and playing representing verb in a first form. Then the rest of the sentence represented object, and at the sentence end of the sentence we put question mark for it is a yes or no type of sentence and interrogative sentence. So we are asking question here. That is why we have to put at the end of the sentence question mark. So this is the structure of the future perfect continuous tense. I hope, my dear students, you have enjoyed the tense series, part 1, part 2, part 3, and this is the part 4. And what you have to do in the home, take some more examples, okay, by using the different helping verbs and different verbs, and by changing the subject. For example, here I used we as a subject. Then you, instead of we, use any singular subject like she, he, it. Okay, or else you change the sentence. Now I told here we have been playing cricket for 10 hours tomorrow, like that. So instead of that one, you take another examples. What you are going to do in future. Okay, I am shorted for only one examples because the video might go a lengthy one. So you practice like that by changing the subject, by changing the verb, okay, by changing the object. So you will get more grip on tenses. And do remember, this is the foundation for all English grammar. If you are thorough in these tenses, you won't bother about communication, and you won't bother about writing, and you won't bother in English subject itself. This is the foundation. So foundation must be strong. Okay. Thank you. If you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you have any kind of doubts, comment in the below comment box, and I will catch you there itself. Okay. And if you did not watch the part 1, part 2, part 3 series of the tense, do one thing. I will give a link in the description box. Go through with that link and watch the 10 series of part 1, part 2 and part 3. Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.